I don't think it's a secret that this team needs a goalie. What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Sports Talk Buffalo. Before we're going any further, I want to remind you guys to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a video. I talk Bills, Sabers, and UB Bulls men's basketball and football right here on this page. Also, remember to check out some cool merch. The links are in the description below. We are a little bit more than a quarter of the way through the Buffalo Sabres season, and a few things are very evident thus far through the season for this Sabres team. The first thing being that the Buffalo Sabres can score goals. They are currently sitting at 109 goals at the time of this recording, which is first in the entire NHL, as they average roughly 3.9 goals per game. The second thing that is blatantly obvious to anyone that has watched the Buffalo Sabres through this first part of the season is that the Buffalo Sabres need goaltending. Their goalies have been bad. According to StatMuse.com, the Sabres currently sit sixth lowest in the entire NHL for save percentage at a .885. And they have given up the third most goals in the NHL, as they've given up 103 goals, or roughly 3.7 goals per game. Now, while goaltending shouldn't take all of the blame for the Buffalo Sabres' woes in terms of goals against, it has been no secret that the Sabres' goaltending has been routinely bad and have consistently let in bad goals game after game after game. And it is very, very evident that the Sabres have to do something if they want to stay afloat in any sort of playoff race. Something that baffled my mind when I looked this up is that between the NHL and the AHL, the Sabres have just one goalie with a save percentage above 900, and that goalie is 41-year-old Craig Anderson, and he currently sits at a .912 save percentage. Now, let's be honest, people. If Craig Anderson at 41 years old is your go-to goaltender, you're going to have a problem as the season progresses because his body is going to start breaking down. So the question is, with Comrie still out for the foreseeable future, the only news I could find about him was that he is doing some light skating currently, and that there is no timetable as he is still week to week being out. Should the Sabres spend some draft capital and maybe send some prospects and help push this rebuild forward? The Sabres sit just 7 points out of a wild card spot with one game in hand on both wild card teams currently. So should the Sabres trade for a goalie? My opinion is yes, they should. They need to bring in a goalie who is capable of being a stopgap or above average goalie to help both Anderson and Comrie. The question is, who? First, I think the Buffalo Sabres would have to go outside of their conference. I don't think that's any secret. With the Eastern Conference being so congested, so close from basically the top to bottom teams, and so many teams in the wild card hunt for the playoffs this early in the season, I think the Sabres have to go to the Western Conference in order to try to formulate some sort of trade. Secondly, I think the Sabres need to trade a team that is likely already out of the playoff race early in this season, because obviously that is going to be your best opportunity in order to make a trade this early in the season. So who do the Sabres go after? The first goalie I think the Sabres should target is 34-year-old veteran James Reimer, who's currently playing for the San Jose Sharks. Reimer has been a good to great goalie throughout his career, which spans over 10 seasons. He has a save percentage in his career of a .912, and he has never finished below a 900 save percentage in any one season in his entire career. So that bodes well for the Buffalo Sabres that at least they would get average goaltending out of a veteran goaltender to help push this rebuild forward. Reimer so far this season is 5-8-2 with a 3.00 goals against and a .903 save percentage. So again, he's not over the moon good. He's not somebody who's going to come in and you're going to ride him for the rest of the season. He is somebody that can provide a little bit of relief because so far, guys like Comrie and UPL are just not getting it done. And with little to nothing in the AHL for the Sabres to call up to kind of provide a spark in goal for the Sabres, they need to do something before any playoff hopes are completely extinguished. The second goalie I would go after in the Western Conference is Chicago goaltender Alex Stalock. Stalock, who is 35, has basically been a career backup. However, he does have solid stats for a backup. He has started 130 games, 64, 52, and 19 in the games that he has played in. And Stalock currently has a career save percentage of a .909. He is also having a very strong season so far in 6 games with the Chicago Blackhawks, as he in 6 games is 3-2-1 with a 2.93 goals against average and a .914 save percentage. These are guys that I would like the Buffalo Sabres to go after, mainly because I believe there is a realistic opportunity to be able to snag these goaltenders, as they each have 3 goalies on their roster or who have played games this season, and they also each have one that can potentially be the starter for the rest of the season, meaning both of these goalies could be pried away from their teams to help give some relief for the Buffalo Sabres. They are both unrestricted free agents at the end of this season, which means the Sabres won't have to worry too much if it doesn't work out. They can simply walk away from either of these goaltenders. And the fact that neither of these goaltenders are world beaters, the Sabres will not have to give up that much in order to bring one of these 2 guys in to help push the Sabres and keep them at least in playoff contention until Comrie comes back and help solidify that goalie room for the rest of the season moving forward. That's going to do it for this episode, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think the Buffalo Sabres should make a trade and bring in a veteran goaltender to help out Craig Anderson, Eric Comrie, and UPL? That's going to do it again, like I said, for this video, guys. And as always, have a fantastic week.